we've been having some interesting things that we want to share with y'all here. And Max, I know you were watching the news here, and something good came up. Would you like to share it with us?
Yes, for once, at least from what I noticed, there were a few times that they got good news. So, according to I believe was it Channel 7 or Pix 11, whichever,
Mhm.
one of the news outlets. Now I know a lot of us have our speculations of news, but I have a cousin who works for one of them, so I'm pretty sure they can't completely lie to us. But apparently, we are heading into a good direction as far as those. As far as the toll numbers, they're starting to go down. There's less people getting hospitalized. There's less people dying right now as far as they can collect. And apparently, we are supposed to be heading into the apex sooner rather than later. I think they said within a matter of days or maybe just within this month at least. So we take it with a grain of salt or take it as just legit good news. It's good to just hear at all, especially from the news outlet who just talk about how horrible everything is when, there are some things that are a little more exaggerated than others. But I'm glad to hear them share good news for once, or at least start it on good news. So I thought those were sharing because this has been more of a scare than anything else. It's playing out like Contagion. So, uh, you know, I thought it'd be worth sharing as far as that goes. So
Uh,
we could talk about whatever as well.
right. Comments on that, Angelica?
Well, that's definitely good news. It's just that I think the problem what's going on is that there's some people that still don't care. Let's be honest. I mean, every day I see on Facebook somebody passing away because there's people that just don't care, and they have their own beliefs about it, and they just like it's nothing, but it's like people are literally dying from it. And it's like, when it's like everybody needs to take it serious, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, so we could stop the spread. That's the whole point. So everyone needs to wear masks when going out, and you just need to be respectful at this time, and also protect ourselves by eating healthy and staying in more unless you really need to go out for something. So it's very important. So I also heard, I don't know if this is true, but I think, but anyways, I think I heard something about there's going to be a lockdown in like 2 weeks. So that's another reason why I've been like really on it when it came to toilet paper and stuff like that, because I think in another 2 weeks, all businesses are going to close down. And
Hmm.
I don't know for how long,
Is that
but
only in LA?
that is, I gotta look that up actually. I don't know if it was in LA, but
I think, is that what you shared on Instagram? I think it was in your story.
yeah, you saw it? Yeah.
Yeah, the National Guard. I was like, what? Please don't tell me. I mean,
Yeah.
that would be the thing is that would be a good thing. But at the same time, it's like that worries me because you're telling people to just not, don't do anything to the point where I'm just like, I don't want problems because then that just I fear. I mean, God forbid riots happen. I mean the National Guard will be around to prevent that, but still,
Hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, you and Angelica, you mentioned something about where people should wear masks, but that's true. But there was this comment where the guy in the White House mentioned that he's not going to wear a mask because, I mean, what is this? And Gabe, you could comment on this as well because this is I don't understand why is it that
He
the
said it's a choice.
White House has to say on national television to the American people, I'm not going to wear a mask because I don't need it. He does need it because what if he gets infected? I don't
Well,
think he cares. That's the
it,
thing that we also got to keep in mind of here. The thing, you know?
well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. The masks don't totally protect you, as if someone sneezes right next to you, it's contagious through liquid from
Mhm.
that infected person.
Is that's also
So
with the
so the mask can help maybe a little bit, but it's not going to really protect you like that. I mean, it helps to have the mask either way. I still wear masks, but not only to protect myself, but to protect other people, because we don't really know if we have it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like there's only so many coronavirus tests out there. You know what I'm saying? I don't have any symptoms. I did get checked, well, virtually through a doctor, and they said I should be fine. I don't have it. You know, because he basically he was video chatting me, and he said, no, you don't have it. There's certain symptoms that you would have, but my point is, it's like, I think it's more of being responsible, you know, and wearing your mask and making sure if you do go to the grocery store, you get in, you get out, you know, try to avoid people as much as possible. Distance 6 feet away, see someone come close to you, move further, you know, it's just about being responsible, you know what I'm saying? So staying inside and just being healthy, you know, eating healthy, and that's what's important right now. So yeah. And also, actually, speaking of somebody not wearing a mask, I also posted something on Facebook about how this guy, he was in a worker, somebody that had the coronavirus was coughing with no mask on at all, just out like it's nothing. And it's like, he was complaining about it. He actually went on Instagram, I think it was, no, Facebook Live, talking about it. And he was just really upset that this lady was just coughing, like, and not covering her mouth at all. And literally 2 weeks later, he passed away from the coronavirus. So again, it's just about being careful, being considerate of others, and, you know, staying home as much as possible to avoid getting infected. So.
What's up?
Comments?
Well, yeah, I think it's a very unfortunate situation that so many people aren't taking it seriously like they should. Well, Max's comments are hopeful, though, and what he picked up from the reporting is great, and I hope we continue to trend that way. Once New York starts to decline, we'll be in the clear for the world, I think, because we're number one at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to go back on it, because I remember Trump talking about because they asked him why won't he wear a mask. He said because it's a choice. I don't really see the need. And the thing is, believe it or not, I know it sounds like a defense, but he's actually not completely in the wrong, because I learned from a doctor who posts videos on the regular. I think his name is Dr. Mike. He posts stuff on YouTube. I was watching it last night, and he said that unless it's the N95 mask, you're not and this is not to scare nobody, but it does better job. The masks do a better job of just keeping you from getting other people sick, not that you will be any safer from someone that gets it. But don't have a but just be aware that, like, it only helps to an extent, like what Angelica said. So Trump is bad in the sense of not being the best model of suggesting something, because then he's just gonna give everyone the freedom to just be like, well, he's not wearing one, so why should I? Like, in that case, yeah, he's an idiot. But I mean, don't you know, it's just, it's kind of weird. Everyone's like, why are you defending him? And like, you want to call him evil? I don't know if we can even call him that. Maybe he is, and I'm too soft. But it's just, I mean, because after hearing that from a doctor, I'm like, well, I wear stuff. I wore a mask. I have one too, not an N95, unfortunately. But
what about gloves?
Gloves I wear. My mom bought these black type gloves. They're good for, like, I think constructive stuff. Like I know a guy who I watched. I collect model trains, and one guy was wearing them a while back in one of his videos. They're good for, like, keeping your hands clean, because trains are greasy. So it looks like one of those. I don't know if I have them. I think I have them. But,
yeah, because, you know, the thing about it is, I don't know if the gloves should be considered a choice, despite of the times we're in. Because if
no, the gloves. Sorry, the gloves. No, the gloves were never something that was considered.
Well, I meant the mask.
Yeah, masks are a different story. The gloves will definitely help you, but there's a specific way of using them.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing, because I use gloves sometimes. So I'm gonna be honest. I don't use them. Actually, I didn't use it today. Because when I got in my car, I forgot to wear them. However, here's the thing, though. what's more important is washing your hands, because at the end you're going to go back in your car and probably have your gloves on still while you're driving the wheel.
Yeah.
So it's like you touch everything. You don't even realize sometimes, like, oh, I touched this,
Yeah.
that, it's similar to your hands. You just got to wash your hands. But it's like, don't put your hands in your mouth, don't put your hands in your eyes, just wash your hands. It's the same thing, honestly, if you ask me.
Yeah, keep alcohol with you to wipe the gloves with, because these gloves are good to be able to clean that off also. Like you can clean it off if you're going to enter your house or something. If you use alcohol, we've been using like a little pump, like a spray, like how you spray things like that.
Alcohol.
Yeah, get that, and you could put like a spray pump.
Yep, I have a
and do it like on the gloves and stuff. Like that's what I've been doing. I do that, and then
that's smart.
And then do this, so that way I can keep using them. Because I mean, my mom bought a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know where, but she happened to have a whole batch, and I just try to reuse them as many times. I'm still a little stubborn. I'm not gonna lie, just because like I've always been careful. So, because I was like this, if I have to touch, my thing was always this: if I have to touch something, in the streets, like on the subway, way before this has nothing to do with it. If I had to touch something, I always use my left hand, so that way my right hand can be used for anything. Like our eyelashes are always going to be on our face. Something's going to be on our face that bothers us. We're going to need to be like this. So as long as I'm not greeting people with the hand, I do this, or I just use like a print, like the back of it, parts that were touched. So that was always my method. So I guess when people are just like emphasizing other things, I'm just calm down, like like my strategy's never wrong. But then I gotta start listening to more people. So because it's hard to want to listen when you've already had something that's worked for so long, which explains how probably we got here. But pandemics aren't very often.
I feel like it's hard to be 100% clean though, because it's like this is still fairly new. And it's hard because we touch everything. Like you could imagine how many times we touch something and we forget and think it's clean, Like you got to touch a pole, right? Let's say you go on the train station, right? You got to touch a pole. Yeah. You get off the pole, right? You got to get off another train, and then you touch it. Then you got to spray again. You know what I'm saying? It's just a lot of work. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I feel like washing your hands is most effective. And just don't touch your face, then you should be good, Make sure you have your mask on, and that's it, just wash your hands before you eat, or, stuff like that. Gabriel, having good hygiene.
Yeah, let's get Gabriel in on this here.
Yeah, I think these are all great tips. I think everyone should just really try their best and do what they can. Washing your hands is definitely the best advice I've heard, and something I try to employ as well. So yeah, I think this is all great advice, and it's just about keeping safe, and taking it seriously.
Right. I would also say not only wash your hands, but also wash your face as well in case of anything. Because because what if that person sneezes on you and then you go like, why did you sneeze on me? I'm like, no, it's important because you never know who's going to be around, even though we got to stay 6 feet apart from each other, but you never know if that sneeze could go over 6 feet. That's why you have to be mindful of it. Yeah.
Right.
So, no, I run. If someone sneezes, I'm out. I'm out of that area.